Welcome to the channel English Grammar and Composition. I am Dr. Bala Kant Jha. Today I shall discuss on the face of it summary, Chapter 6 of Vistas. First of all, we shall introduce something about author. This title is written by Dame Susan Hill, Lady Wells, whose date of birth is 5th February 1942 and is an English author of fiction and non-fiction works. Her novels include The Woman in Black, The Mist in the Mirror, and I Am the King of the Castle, for which she has received the Somerset Maugham Award in 1971. Susan Hill, a national women's rights advocate and the owner of several abortion clinics around the country, died of breast cancer on January 30th, 2010 at the age of 61. Background of the story on the face of it. This story is about a teenage boy whose name is Derry, who has a burnt face, and Mr. Lamb, who is a disabled old man with an artificial leg made of tin. Derry accidentally enters his garden so that he can hide from people who hate him because of his ugly face. Mr. Lamb not only welcomes him in his garden but also encourages him to lead a normal life, leaving behind his past. Summary. The story begins with a teenage boy entering a garden. His face is burnt on one side due to an accident when a seed fell on half of his face. He has gone there to hide as he is afraid of facing people. He fears being teased by others for having such a face. But when he enters, he finds someone already present there. He tries to leave the place, but he is stopped by the old man, Mr. Lamb, the owner of the garden. Derry feels guilty for entering the garden without permission. Mr. Lamb welcomes him and tells him not to leave just because of his presence. Derry wants to leave as he thinks people don't like his face and moreover they get afraid of his looks. But Mr. Lamb insists he stay there. They enter into a conversation that how Derry is not liked by anyone and how he hates people behaving like this with him. Mr. Lamb tries to console him. He tells him that he has a thin leg and kids make fun of him. Still he is not depressed and enjoys his life. They both talk about various things and this leads to the revelation of Derry's fear, depression and hatred about his being in such a condition. But Mr. Lamb keeps on telling him to think of the positive things. Soon They became friends, and Mr. Lamb asked him to help him in plucking the crab apples of his garden. Daddy tells him that he had come too far from his home and hadn't told anything about this to his mother. Mr. Lamb tells him to take permission from his mother. Daddy finds it difficult, and this leads to a small quarrel between both of them. At last, Daddy tells him that he would come back after taking his mother's permission. His mother does not want him to go back, but he comes back again to fulfill his promise. Meanwhile, Mr. Lamb climbs the ladder on his own to pluck the crab apples, as he has sure that Daddy would not return. He was disabled and it was difficult for him to climb. Mr. Lamb falls from his ladder and dies. Daddy, on the other hand, returns to the garden to help him. When he enters the garden, he sees Mr. Lamb lying on the ground. Daddy tries hard to make him move, but did not get any response from him. Finally, he comes to know that he is dead and starts crying.